Hello folks and welcome back to Medieval Total War. I am Conostep and this is going to be part 3 of my 1530, or no gosh, wrong campaign, my early campaign. This is part 3 of my early campaign where I'm playing as the Danes. I did take a little bit of a break. It was unintentional, but it happened. And I did record a couple Odo episodes, but now I'm getting back into Medieval, so apologies for the wait. If you're not interested in Shogun, then yeah, you had to wait a little bit longer for me to come out with this episode. So with this one, also, just heads up, there's not going to be any battles in this episode. If all things go right, there's going to be no more fighting in this campaign for a while. I don't think there's going to be any battles in the next episode either. So again, I'm not trying to waste your time here. If you want to watch the battles, then yeah, you might want to just kind of hang out and wait till another episode later on down the road, because this is, you know, we're not in a place where we can be doing things like fighting. we need to be doing things like growing food and making money. Yeah, there's no food mechanic in this game. I just spent as a way to get money. My income is sitting at 154 florins, which is pretty low. I have not assigned a governorship for Norway yet. I could do that. It gives +1 loyalty, so that's not really that significant. But just to get a few more florins out of it, Norway does not make a lot of money itself, but it does have trade goods, so it can eventually make money. I think the idea here, I was looking at the captains that I have available to make governor of Norway, and although I do have a 3 acumen captain here in Ulfhedin Bolfrikson, nailed it. Yes, he would be like a good, you would think, right? You would think that he's the good option. He has the most acumen of all of my captains that are available right now. However, he doesn't have any dread, and he does have 6 piety. So if Norway is zealous, that could help with their population loyalty. They're not that zealous. 47%, I don't really know how zealous is zealous, but I think that that's not zealous. So we are sitting at 100% loyalty on normal taxes. So right on the brink. It would be nice to bump that up a bit, although, you know, fighting over 5 florins in either direction isn't really worth fighting over, but it would be nice, really, to be able to move on from this and not have my king hang out here in Norway. The only direction that I'm being threatened, and not that the Germans are threatening me, but this is the only direction that I can be attacked from, is from, you know, Saxony into Denmark. So it would be nice to have my king's army down there just to kind of hang out and protect my one vulnerable border. Right now I just have a unit of Viking thralls hanging out. Them and 2 units of peasants. One being a 1-star general, thanks to being the Earl of Denmark, Lord Loftsson. But other than that, it's, yeah, I would like to get these guys down to Denmark just to kind of secure that. And so Norway, I'm looking at more at, instead of trying to squeeze every last florin out of Norway because it's not making much, I'm more concerned with what can I do to make them happy so that I can just move on from it. And to that end, I was looking at Sigurd Jedwardsen. 4 piety, 2 dread. That's a bit better, isn't it? Just the 2 dread can help out, and 2 acumen is only 1 less than 3. So that's an option. I also think I came across someone else. Yeah, Eyston Gilly. 2 acumen, so that's the same, but 3 dread instead of 2, and then yeah, 4 piety. Again, I don't think the piety is going to matter here, but the 3 dread is going to help. He's not loyal, but that doesn't matter. He can just stay in the king's stack. That's fine. I think I'm going to make him the Earl or the Governor of Norway. Yeah, I think that's going to be the plan here. So let's see if that loyalty bumps up a bit. Just double check that it's him. Yes, he is the one. So now he's a bit more loyal, and it's making a bit more money. Yeah, we bumped it up by a little bit. And loyalty has gone up by 10%. So that is worthwhile. We could even bump that up to high, but again, it's just too much on the border to really risk it, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to hang out with my king's army, at least for now, until we can get some buildings like the watchtowers built. They only cost 100 florins, however, I'm going to get instead the copper mine complex here. It costs 900 florins, and that's pretty much all of my money. So I'm going to start building that. It only takes, 4 turns. Okay, well, still, that's fine. I'll start building that, and I will be able to build those watchtowers in Norway next turn. And then the border fort, or the border, is it the border thingy? What's it called? The border fort, yeah. I'll build that the turn after. So eventually I will get my King's Army down here to Denmark. It'll happen. I'm happy to find out that I am actually in the middle of building this keep here, which is nice. That means I'm getting the ball rolling, right? I need to get that built, and then I can build the shipbuilding building. I can't remember what it's called. It's like is it the boat builder or the shipbuilder or something? I think that's going to cost, off the top of my head, is it 600 florins, 400 florins? I'm not quite sure, but by the time this keep is finished, I want at least 600 florins saved up. So I have to keep that in mind. This takes 8 turns to build, so this is probably 3 turns into it. So I'm guessing we have 5 turns left before this is built, I'm guessing. And yeah, so 5 turns. So this is going to take 2 turns to build that, then 3 and 4 to get these watchtowers and border forts built. And yeah, we might have to wait a turn or 2 before we can get that boat building going. But in any case, we'll get there. You know, we can adjust taxes as we go. It would be nice to be able to bump Sweden's tax rate up a bit, because this province is making me money. I'm making 308 florins on just low taxes. Normal taxes, 337. Yeah, it'd be nice to get it really bumped. I don't see. I'm a little worried about the 107 loyalty. Maybe I shouldn't be, but it would be worth it to make that kind of money. And then I would be at 221 profits. Yeah, that's like a 70 florins increase. Something like that. It is probably worth it. It is. Denmark is on very high, so I can leave that. In Norway, yeah, I think I just have to. It's just not worth it. It's not worth risking that, so let's just chill on that for now. We're not going to train any soldiers because we don't want the upkeep for that. And I don't have any agents. I have no emissaries. I have no princesses. I do have some princesses on the way. Princess Ingeborg is 4 years away before she can hopefully try to meet some Germans and maybe get an alliance for us. That would be nice, because we have a few alliances with some good, powerful nations, except for the one that borders us. So that's just a little bit It's concerning. It is. There's not much here. It's just this peasant and a spearman. So, like, you know, this is not an invasion force, but it's just that I want to be allied with the big, powerful neighbor to the south of me. So yeah, that's about it. I think, let's see. Yeah, I just need 2 boats in the water, one here in Skagerrak and then one here in the North Sea. And then I can be trading with 2 ports, just like that. So that's going to be this episode. It's just me working through the economics of this early campaign. Again, that's all it's going to be. So don't feel like you're going to be missing out if you're going to switch away from this. All right, I'm going to drop a save. And yeah, see how this goes here. A couple of turns later, I have finished building the watchtowers and the border fort here in Norway, and we are just 1 turn away from finishing this copper mine complex here in Sweden, and I will keep bringing my King's Army down here to Denmark just to make sure that we are safe there. Everyone's fine, very high taxes, although it's only 112% here in Sweden, but I think that that's good enough. And then Norway, very low. Let's just bump this up a bit. Do normal taxes. And it would be nice to start building a fort at this point in Norway. Although, actually, I do have a damaged unit of Vikings that I want to retrain here in Norway, because they will, first off, they will fill up their unit, but also they're going to get that +1 Valor from Norway as well, which gives that Valor bonus. Actually, is that going to help out? Yeah, let's bump up taxes a little bit. That's okay. And down here, I have this unit of 12 spearmen, which cannot be retrained right now because I don't even have a spear maker, which is what I need to train spearmen. I kind of feel like disbanding them just to save the 6 support costs, but yeah, I guess it doesn't really matter. I can retrain them once I get that spearmaker built here in Denmark. Eventually, it's going to happen eventually. So maybe just hang on to them for now. And instead of building that fort right away in Norway, which I would like to do, it would cost 400 florins. But I think that I have 2 turns left before this keep is finished. So I would like to, as I said before, have the money ready right away so that I can start building that boat building right away, the moment that I can, the exact moment that I can. So that is what I'm going to hold out for. We have just now completed our first Homeland objectives. Now for the GA points, it never like shows anything for all of the other objectives. It just shows the Homelands page. So like you might see like I've just scored 5 points. That's not all of the points that I just scored. It just shows the Homelands page, which is I don't know why. I don't really understand that. I don't know if it's just the Steam version that does this. I know in Shogun Total War for the Steam version, there's some audio that cuts out in like the throne room, for instance. And there's a few other audio bits that do cut out in the Steam version of Shogun. I wonder if there's some things like that here in Medieval, which are just a little bit like it's fine, the game still plays, but it doesn't show you the things. So if you look in here, I made my 7 points. I didn't just make my 5 points, I also made my 2 points off of Conquest as well for taking Sweden and Norway. So everything's fine, it just doesn't show it, which is a little bit like, oh no, what's going on? But you know, once you play it for a while, you get it. So I'm on the low end of things. As you can see, I'm one of the losers. The Almohads and the Byzantines have really good Homelands objectives, so they're going to be fine for a while. England's okay. And Italy is okay as well. The Turks are okay. Sicily, just off of 2 provinces. Yeah, Malta and Sicily, they're making 5 points each. That's all they need, lucky bastards. So yeah, I'm definitely going to fall behind. The other nations will make more points than me, but once I get that economy going and those fleets going, oh boy, you better watch out. So, and I have my first princess as well. Lovely. Princess Ingeborg. Yep, let's send you down and you can start. I don't know why'd you spawn up here in Norway? Why didn't you... The king is here. Why didn't you spawn close to the king? That was weird. It's like nothing here in Norway. Yes, you can go down and talk to the Germans. The Germans are already at war with the French, is what I just saw. Yeah. I'd love to see what's going on with that. I find that typically the French will go to war with the English and they will absolutely kick their asses, and then the English are just gone, just right away. It happens in every campaign that I've played. I would love to see the opposite happen. It'd be really cool if England actually survived. So I'm gonna hope for that. Yeah. Let's see. So now that the copper mine complex is finished, I'm making a bit more money off of Sweden, obviously, making 321. That's a little bit more, yes. And still, though, yeah, I have 1 turn before this keep is finished, so I don't want to spend any money right now, because the thing that I would build right now would be like improved farmland, 600 florins, port, 750, fort, 400. So like, well, actually, shit, can I? I'm making 321, so I'd lose 4. Yep, I can afford a fort. I think I can afford a fort. So let's get going on that. And then if my math is right, it never is, but I should be able to start building that boat building next turn. Ooh, that hurts. Famine in Sweden. Oh man, my richest province. God damn. Yeah, that hurts at this point in the game. Not just because the income is halved, but something that this never tells you. Anytime you see these messages, sometimes it's famine, sometimes it's like an earthquake or a natural disaster, sometimes it's a plague as well. It will say income halved, and okay, that makes sense, right? Well, also the population loyalty lowers, and you have to check these things. Later in the campaign, it probably won't matter as much because you will have a lot of buildings that increase happiness, you will have garrisons that increase happiness, you might have some spies that are increasing happiness. So your provinces should be fine later on in the campaign once everything is good. But at this point in the campaign, things are not good. So you know, Sweden's probably going to have to lower its taxes just to keep its people happy, which is going to lower the income by even more. That sucks. That does suck. Yeah, the Alma heads want to offer an alliance. Yeah, sure. Why not? We can just be friends with everyone. Don't mind if I do. Yep, Sweden. Oh, that sucks. Damn. Bring it down to normal. Make it only 245. Ugh. Yuck. Princess, you come down to Denmark. And let's see, retrained you. So can I still afford to build that boat building? Sweet. It's only 400 florins. Yes, I got it. And this is going to allow me to build barks and longboats. And it's only going to take 4 turns to build. Yes, please. Give me that. Give me that. And I still have some money left over, so can I build anything else? Man, trading post costs 800. It's just so expensive. Buildings are expensive in this game. Well, let's just hang on to it. Let's see if I did have a different GA points. Anything's changed? Has nothing changed? Nope. Nothing has changed. It's just worth checking this out every time after you've scored some points, after a counting period. So like it's the year 1101, the next counting period is going to be 1125. And then I should check the points again after that. Or the objectives again after that. And just like that, 2 of my allies have started fighting the French and the English. What did I tell you? So yeah, I'm really curious. I'm really curious. I am. Like the French, they just throw themselves into it against the Germans, against the English, and you think there's no way they can beat both of them. And I feel like they typically do. So, I mean, I'm always going to remain allied to the Germans, which means breaking up my alliance with the French. So, break up with the... Nope. So that kept my alliance with the English, correct? Yes, it did. And yeah, the Germans are the only ones that have, like, not come and talked to me. Like, what the hell, guys? All right, where is going to be... I need to either find an English or German, emissary or king. That's a nice improvement in this game as opposed to Shogun. In Shogun, you have to find the daimyo to talk to them with your diplomat. In this game, you actually can find either an emissary or the king, which is it's nice. It makes things a bit easier for sure. What does not make things easier is guessing. Where the hell would he be? I don't know. Just look for him. Find him. Find someone, please. Oh, I have another princess. Oh, perfect. That'll make things easier. Princess Sophie. Yes, you come down and help out. Yeah, you help out. Let's fan out, actually. So, okay, in this case, you go this way, and then I'll have Sophie, like, work her way around this. Yeah, they'll fan out is what I'm trying to say. And I have enough money now to start building. With Sweden, yes, like, trading post, good. Port, good. But Sweden has good farmland, too. And it only takes 2 turns to build these improved farmlands. So I think I should maybe get a couple of those before I start working on trade here in Sweden. Because, you know, again, I'm still a ways away before I can get a couple of boats in the water. So, yeah, let's get that improved farmland going there. Norway, as soon as I can, they can start working on trade. So, yeah, they can get a port in as soon as I can afford that. A port and a trading post. And looky here, the French have taken Friesland. Okay. Yeah, a couple of their heirs are here. Archer and a spearman. They've trained up a unit of peasants. Yeah. All right. Yeah, the Germans are getting pushed. I'm pretty sure they start with Friesland. I don't know all of these starting territories by heart yet in this game, but yeah, that sounds German to me. So yeah, I'm gonna want to keep an eye on this. I'm glad that I have 2 princesses. That's gonna help. That I like having vision on things. I think I have another one on the way. Princess Thyra, 2 years away before she's of age as well. Yes. Or is it 15? I think they maybe become of age when they're 15. Maybe. Yeah, 15 it is. So Princess Thyra just came of age, and now she can help me find a German suitor. And knighthood. The code of knighthood binds men to behave in a brave and honorable manner. honorable manner, defend the weak, protect the virtuous, and give and receive every courtesy to friends and foes alike. Chivalry is an ideal that is not always achieved, but its emphasis on virtue helps to spread the Catholic faith more widely. I don't know if this does anything. It kind of like implies that Catholic faith is being spread more, but it doesn't. That's very vague. You know, some of these messages kind of just say something, and it doesn't really point to something in game changing. But maybe it does. Maybe Catholic faith is now going to increase. You know, if you look around, maybe like that number is going to go up. In some provinces, it's already high. Well, it's 100% in Norway. Good job, Norway. So yeah, I don't know. You got Viking unit retrained. You can bring you down. Yeah, or would it be a zeal thing? I don't know. Zeal in Sweden is pretty insane. Holy shit. Okay. Zeal has gone up. We were looking at Norway before. It was 47% before when I began this episode. So maybe that's what, maybe that is something. Yeah, I don't know. Just guessing. Yeah, income is slowly going up. I got that improved farmland here in Sweden. I'm really tempted to get another one going. It's going to cost 1,000 florins for the next upgrade. Oh God. Well, no. Okay, so I can build boats now. Yeah, longboats are so good. They're cheap. They are. You know, like it's interesting. I'm pretty sure the stats are worse. 1 attack, 1 defense, 3 speed. 1 attack, 2 defense, 3 speed. So yeah, the barks have better it's a better defensive stats. So it can do better in a battle. But it costs a lot more. It costs 250 florins more for a bark. And support cost is 15 for the longboat. And then 20 for the bark. Longboat all the freaking way. Also, Denmark gives a point of valor to longboats. So maybe with that, they end up being better. I don't really have any information on what valor does for boats. I would imagine 1 point of attack, 1 point of a defense. Valor for units gives 1 defense, 1 attack, and 2 morale. So there's no morale stats for naval units though. So would it just be 1 attack, 1 defense? If that's the case, then it's a better boat than the barks, right? And cost effective as well. Yeah, so I can afford it. Go longboats. They do take three turns to train, yes, or 3 turns to build, yes, they do. So get those going. I just need 2 of them, and actually I can read this off as well. The Viking longboat appears to be a simple vessel, but actually is the end of many generations of careful improvement. It is capable of long ocean voyages, can be easily beached, and can carry large cargoes, but as a fighting vessel, it is only suitable for boarding attacks. Yes. Get a couple of those going, and we are going to be in business. Huh, would you look at that? A Sicilian fleet is off the coast of Norway. Wow, they have traveled far, haven't they? I mean, that would make me nervous, but there's no other boats nearby, so they cannot invade Norway. And for those of you who are new to the game, you do need a chain of boats. So like if Sicily was to invade Norway, they would need boats all the way in every sea region, going all the way up here, all the way, they would need a ton of boats to link them to Norway to be able to attack. So that's what that would require. So like if I wanted to attack Finland, I would just need 1 boat in the Baltic Sea, and then I could just scoot on over to Finland. I think I need, oh gosh, I can't remember all of the rules regarding ports. I would need a port. I think to travel between my own provinces, I need a port to be able to do that as well, like port to port. But if I'm traveling to either enemy or neutral provinces, well, neutral that I'm invading, there doesn't need to be a port. I can just invade any place as long as I have boats connecting me to that province. I'm pretty sure that's how that goes. I think. Oh wow, so the French have also taken Franconia as well. Ooh man, they are pushing deep. Well, I have found a German emissary, so I can go talk to him. French have a 4-star general. Holy smokes, okay. Lord of Bouillon. Natural leader. Captured, okay. So when you're captured, you get +3 morale, but -1 command. So he used to be a 5-star general? Natural leader is good though, +2 morale, yeah. So that's +5 morale between those two traits. So this is a good army morale-wise. Not so much composition-wise, but... yeah, anyway, I found a German emissary, so let's finally... no unmarried men. So the Germans have no unmarried men, but I can still send my princess to try to get an alliance. So, yes, let's do that. And the other ones can just keep snooping around. I like having information on my neighbors. So, where to next? Let's just go to Genoa now. And the Poles have taken Pomerania and they've taken Silesia as well. But those are just rebel provinces. The Poles are not actually at war with anyone, I don't think. No, they're not. Oh, wow. Okay, so the King of France has been captured and executed. His heir has taken over command of the French. Huh. I mean, it looks like they're winning, but now I'm starting to wonder. Let's see. So the Spanish and the Almohads have engaged in hostilities. I'm going to side with the Spanish just because we're both Catholic, so... yes, Spanish. I'm probably not going to really make my way down there for anything to matter, but yeah, we'll side with the Catholic faction with that one. And we have our first boat. Huzzah! Yes, here we are hanging out in Skagerrak. And now let's get another boat going. Another 450 florins. Yes. And I don't think that's going to leave me with enough money to build anything else, a trading post or a port or anything. So let's just, yeah, let's get that boat going for now, and then I'll start building other stuff in the next turns. Yeah, Denmark's probably not going to get anything for a while. I think I just need to work on that economy for now. Now that I can't afford to build something good here, either in Sweden or Norway, I'm considering either building some more improved farmland. It's expensive, 1,000 florins, but I think going trade is the way to go. Go trade. You know, the farm income will add up over time, but right now, like, going trade is what's going to really get me out of this hole. And yeah, you know, I'm getting these boats going in Denmark. That feels good, obviously, but yeah, it's expensive getting that trading post. But I think doing that and then port and then doing trading post and port here in Norway, I think that's going to be the way to go. What in the heck? The Germans did not accept my offer of alliance. Wow. I got the impression that it was only his good mood that day that allowed me to leave with my head still attached to my neck. What? My goodness. Aren't they losing territory? Last I checked, they had lost Franconia and Swabia to the French. Who do they think they are denying my... they've taken Toulouse. Okay. Okay, maybe they're doing okay. Okay. Huh. Well, let's go see. I want to see how the French are doing against the English. If things are really going badly for the French, it's hard to... I mean, it looks like they were taking territory, but now I'm starting to wonder. So, maybe... And this is something I don't know for sure, but if there is no... I mean, if there is like an offer of a marriage on the table, will that increase the chances of you getting that alliance? Because in this instance, there are no unmarried heirs. So, you know, so she couldn't really... She was just acting as an emissary, not so much as a princess. And I'm wondering if that would change things if I just kind of wait around until there's a suitable heir. So, to that effect, I may as well just keep trying. Yeah, no unmarried men. So I won't try now, but I'll just hang around him and I'll just keep checking in to see if I can get him to change his mind once he does have an unmarried son. Now my king has died from an illness, but I do have an heir, so trading post has been finished here in Sweden. I'll check in to see how much money that's going to make me. And Lord Lofston, the governor of Denmark, +10 happiness for being a builder. Always good. So yes, this is the next king, and yeah, I need to work on getting him married. That's what makes me nervous about not having any emissaries, is that I don't have any way of finding wives for my kings or my sons. That's really like makes me nervous, because now he's 36 years old and I need to wait for him essentially to find a wife himself and then start making kids on his own. Whereas if I had an emissary, I could have already found him a wife and he could have already had kids by now. His younger brother is only 4 years younger than him as well, so yeah, it's a little nerve-wracking. It's a little nerve-wracking at this point. Yeah, it'd be nice to get an emissary going. I need to get this building. It's 1,000 florins. It's so expensive. Yeah, there's nothing I can do. I can't use my princess to find another princess for my king. That's not how that works, which is unfortunate. Now the Germans do have an unmarried son, and yes, it says here that there is more of a chance of it being accepted than a treaty from an emissary. So, yeah, we'll see. Hopefully they accept that, because, yeah, I would like to be friends with the Germans. Yeah, the English still have Aquitaine, and the Germans have Toulouse, so let's just keep peeking around here, and let's see what we can see. Also, I finally have 2 boats in the water, so now I can start trading with Friesland and Northumbria starting this turn. So, look at my income, making $3.99. And let's see how much that's going to get bumped up once that trade income starts to kick in. It should be immediate, I think. Let's see, the Alexiad, so yeah, +1 influence on the Byzantine Emperor, okie doke. And no, the Holy Roman Emperor has declined my marriage proposal. Yeah, that's too bad, damn. Okay, but this is actually really, oh, thank God. My king has gotten married right away, so that's very fortunate. And yeah, he just marries a woman from the court, like a noble woman from the court is what he does. So yes, hopefully he can start making kids right away, because 37 years old and then 16 years for the kid to mature. Yeah, it needs to happen fast. All right, how's the money situation? Making 432. Okay, so not that game breaking, as that's not that much, but it's something though. It's something. And then another boat is going to get me 2 more ports here in the English Channel. I can trade with Normandy and Wessex. So just keep plugging away at that. I'm working on another boat, and I can afford to start building a port. This is going to take 4 turns to get that going here in Sweden. One step at a time. And the Germans have taken Anjou. Oh my goodness. Yeah, maybe the French are not doing well. Yeah. Yeah, maybe the Germans are going to be okay after all. If so, that would be interesting. I would just really like to see a campaign where the French are wiped out and the Germans and the English remain. That would be kind of cool. Also, I didn't think that I was going to have to worry about the Germans invading me because, the whole war with France and everything. But now I'm starting to wonder, they wouldn't, would they? They are training mounted crossbowmen here in Saxony. Now, mounted crossbowmen, this is a good unit. It's a crossbowman on a horse. It's kind of scary. They can shoot powerful. I think this is the only crossbow unit that's available in the early campaign. So it's an armor-piercing bow. Now, I can't shoot while moving, but none of the bows in this, none of the mounted archers can shoot while moving in this game, which is really, really silly. It's really dumb. But yeah, that's just how it was in Shogun 1 and Medieval 1. Mounted crossbows are a good unit. They're deadly. I couldn't really do anything about that. Because they could outrun my knights, my royal knights, and they could just sit there and shoot my Vikings and my thralls, and have one unit of archers hanging out. Like, that's just the only unit that could shoot back at them. And I would need more of them to give me a chance of defeating mounted crossbows. Yikes. Yeah, but I'm using Denmark to build boats. So, hopefully they don't attack. And I'm just going to keep asking the German emperor, you know, if they say no, just keep asking. That's how you get married. So, just keep asking. Maybe it'll happen. And they probably won't attack, right? The French are right there. Obviously, they're defending against the French, and they're not attacking me. I'm just being paranoid. I know. Okay. All right, yes. Oh, man, see, I told you. You just have to ask again. When he said no the first time, he didn't mean it. He was just joking. That's how Germans like to joke. So, yes. Well, I lost vision on that province because that princess has now been married away. Yeah, the French have Swabia, Friesland, they still have Brittany. They have things, you know, they still own provinces, and there's some big stacks here, too. Yeah, Brittany. Ooh, they got feudal sergeants. That's the second tier spearman unit, so... Oh, God, I'm behind. Oh, man, hopefully no one attacks me, because I would lose to literally this. I would lose to that. Let's just keep building my longboats, and hopefully everyone leaves me alone. Oh, gosh. Okay, so, my ruler's wife has given birth to a daughter. That's helpful, but I could use a son. So, a son, please. A son next. He is 40. And they start to... It's my understanding that once a king reaches the age of around 56 or 57, I think 57, I think that there becomes a chance every year, and I think this chance increases, that king will die of... It says illness, but it's like old age or illness or whatever. I believe that chance kicks in at 57. That doesn't mean they're going to die at 57. It just means that they could. And, but they could live into the 60s. So, you know, that's kind of the number that I'm looking at here. Is that's why a son would be nice soon. Oh, wow. And the French are actually doing well here against the English. They have taken Wessex. And they have all of these territories as well. Yeah, this is the French, man. It's interesting how well they do. Like, they really kick ass against the English. And it's just kind of bizarre. I mean, the English, I guess they did take Scotland. And this army could really use to not be there. It could use to be down here. Because, yeah, this English king is going to get pushed out of Mercia. If he just kind of hangs out there. Yeah, the French do well. They sure do. It's a scary world out here. Gosh, it's nice having my princesses look around and spy and scout around for me, but at the same time, I'm almost like want them to return home so that I can't see it. It's a scary world out here, and I don't want to know. I just want to close my eyes to it. I pretend like it's just me and my longboats, because that's all that matters. That's all that I can do right now is build my longboats. Oh, huzzah, yes. Oh, thank goodness gracious. So my king's wife has given birth to a son now, and he will be mature in 16 years. So, to 58. He has to live to be the age of 58 before his son is of age. Okay, that's That's not asking too much, King Olaf II. You got this, man. You freaking got this. Oh, thank goodness. All right, that should be good. And yeah, we're getting boats in the water. I have my port finished in Sweden, and that helps. Let's bring you down here. There's no ports here, unfortunately. But here in Costa Verde, there's another 2 ports that I can trade with. And now, thanks to my 2 ports here in Denmark and Sweden trading, I am making 736 florins. And I just finished the trading post here in Norway, making another 30 florins. So I can start building a port here. Yeah, let's get that port going. And then let's save up so that I can build a keep here in Sweden. So that I can eventually get a, what is it? Is it the shipwright, right? Shipwright, yes. And that's going to help me build more boats. More boats faster. Yeah, that's going to be the goal here, is to just keep pumping those boats out. And just hope that none of this, hopefully none of this matters. The Germans look like they're doing okay, doesn't it? Like, if Toulouse and Anjou. Let's check in on the English. I think they still have Aquitaine. The French have not pushed into Mercier yet. Looks like they just got another son. The English have another son. Just came of age, I think. Prince Henry. So that helps. That's another unit of Royal Knights that can help out. Bring down the Scottish. They can help. God damn it. They can fight too. Yeah, I'm just going to keep my princesses. Eventually, they're going to retire. Yeah, she's already 33. And yeah, these 2 princesses are going to retire soon, I think. But I want to keep using them just to keep spying on what's going around. Another thing, like, I love the fact that boats allow me to get vision on other provinces. Like, if the sea region borders that province, then I have vision on that province. It is so cool. It's such a cool feature. I love having vision on the map. It's kind of it's my thing. I hate being blind to what's going on, and having boats allow me to get vision on all of the coastal regions is so cool. And when I can afford it, I will get a church eventually so that I can start training my religious agents, my bishops, I think it is. And then I'm just going to put bishops everywhere so I can see all of the landlocked regions as well. Like, that's really important to me. Also, it's really cool that if you have, for instance, a navy, say the English had a navy in the North Sea, then that would not allow me to spy specifically on their troops and their buildings. I could still see, like, for instance, I could see this, but I would not be able to click on this army and see what's inside of it. And I would not be able to click on the generals and see who they are and what their vices and virtues are. I would not be able to click on the province and see what buildings are inside of it. Jesus, I can even see how much money they're making. Yeah, I can see everything because there's no English Navy here blocking my spying efforts. But if there's a boat here, then all I see is this, you know. I don't see the details, which is just really neat. It's like a really, like, it gives the Navy a lot of utility, you know, like, you know, it's for spying, it's for trade, it's for military, it's for transportation. It's just really cool. I really like a lot of what they did with certain features in this game. And the Navy, I like it. I think it's well done. Anyway, moving on. Although at this point I probably could afford, so yes, I could get the merchant building, which is the 2nd tier trading post building. This just gives an additional increase on the percentage that you're making off trade. They're good buildings. They're very worth the money. But it's just going to be one turn before this port's finished here in Norway. And then I can start building a keep in Norway, just like I've started here in Sweden. So I think getting the keeps going so that I can eventually get the shipwrights going, so that I can eventually get more boats going, I think that is more important right now than building a merchant. So that's going to have to wait. Right now, boats is the priority. So go boats. You know what? The fact that the French are not my allies because I sided with the Germans and now the French own Saxony, that makes me a little bit nervous. At least they've gotten rid of those mounted crossbows, which is a unit that, as I mentioned, terrifies me. But then can I even beat this? Well, these 2 units of Royal Knights are very beaten up. There's only 1 man each in each of these units. The general itself is pretty beaten up as well. They took some casualties, maybe from those mounted crossbows. This heir, or this son of the king, Prince Felipe, 4-star general, natural leader, so +2 morale. And then, yeah, +2 acumen as well. Archers, Ballista only has 1 man in it, and it can't shoot. It's just useless, so that's nothing to worry about. And then 1.5 units of peasants, and then a 59-man unit of spearmen. It's not much, is it? It's not. My Vikings can destroy their infantry. And then my 2 units of Royal Knights can probably gang up on these Royal Knights and beat them. I mean, I do outnumber them, so that would probably be fine. If they attacked, I could probably beat this force. So, yes. I do have a little bit of money I can spend right now. Not much, but a little bit. I think now, okay, I want to admit something here. This is probably not the most optimal thing to spend money on. I like getting the Fortification defensive upgrades just because they're kind of neat and they add some character and some flavor to the game. Now, are they effective? Yes, absolutely they are. But you know, how often do they come into play? In this case, Denmark is it's a border region. Now, I would not build defensive fortifications or defensive upgrades on territories that are inner territories that are not, you know, on my border. That would be a waste of money. But on a province that, you know, is the border, like Denmark here, I think there is some value here. Now, that what that would mean is that if I retreat into the castle, if I retreat with my army into the castle, if I'm attacked, then it would be harder for them to storm the castle, just because the first upgrade here is a curtain wall. A curtain wall is going to give the outer wall, as you can see right there, for the keep is wood. The curtain wall is stone. It's a lot harder to get through, a lot harder. Like it's a big difference, actually. Arrows, archers, can use flaming arrows to burn through a wooden outer wall and an inner wall. But to get through a stone outer wall, you need artillery, or you need to have your men hack at the gate. And the gate's tough. That's just a single entry point. So it makes a difference. Now, but it begs a question. If your army is inside of the keep, and I don't really have anything else to help out, you know, what's the point? If isn't that game over anyway? Well, as the Danes, you can train Vikings just with a fort. You know, you can get Vikings just with a fort. So you can get a handful of reinforcements, like, you know, in a couple of turns. You can just get a few Vikings ready to go, and you can come back in and try to fight a sally out battle. So anyway, I probably should spend my money on a merchant. That would be the smart thing to do. But I'm going to get some defensive upgrades first. They're so cheap. They're so cheap. It's 200 florins. It only takes 2 turns to build. It's the right amount. You know, if this was more, then it'd be like, nah, not worth it. Too long, too stupid. But here it's just a little bit stupid. You know, it's just like, you can get it. Now they can afford it. Get it. Why not? Yeah. Have some fun. Sophie has now retired. Yes, my other princess. She has aged out of being a useful princess. It just means that they can't be married off. You know, I'm sure that they can have enjoyable lives still. They just are not really at a marriageable age. That's all. It's too bad though. I feel like it'd be kind of nice just to continue to use them as agents. But it's also there's some flavor in there. I get it. You know. So now both of my princesses are off the map. They can no longer be used as agents. I do have a daughter on the way, so I can, you know, use her eventually. The Almohads are trying to get their alliance back with me. That might mean that their war with the Spanish is not going well. That's too bad. I'm going to continue my alliance with the Spanish. Yes. Well, what do you know? The French have taken Saxony officially. Yes, they were able to root the Germans out of that fort, and now they officially own the entire province. And they have a new general in town. 5-star general, feudal sergeant unit, Lord de Pains, the big dogs in the house. 5 command, yeah, he's a good general. Hedonist, he's a bad fighter. He's a little too fat, so he's not a good fighter, but he's a good general. He's a good leader of men. However, he's a great warrior, so sometimes the vices and virtues in this game don't really quite match up. He's hard to kill. He has +5 health, despite the fact that he's overweight. So he's a little extra layer of protection, I guess, is what we're trying to find out here. Anyway, the army, yeah, it's there. I don't know. I don't know why. It feels a little bit scarier now that he's around. It feels a little bit scarier now. And, you know, you wouldn't think that the French would just attack someone else and be at war with a third nation. But since I don't have any princesses left, I can't try to marry a French prince. And I have to wait for Princess Astrid to come of age in 6 years. How about I train a few units? Let's get some woodsmen. They're cheap. Support cost of 22. And yeah, hardy woodsmen, superior to peasant levies, populate many regions where dense forests are the normal terrain. With their axes, they can do terrible damage even to better troops, and their light armor gives them some protection. They are still peasants, of course, and can run like any other peasantry, so yeah, poor morale, weak defense, but they have a bonus versus armored soldiers because they have an axe, and they have a decent charge as well, and they're cheap. Support cost is only 22, as opposed to the Viking thralls with the 37 support cost, and the Vikings, which are 37 support cost. So, and yeah, only cost 75 florins to train. They're cheap. So let's just get a couple bodies going. Also, you can train them with just a fort, which is nice. I would like to get archers going, but I can only train archers in Denmark right now, and I'm using Denmark to build boats. And I'm going to keep doing that until I can build boats somewhere else, and then I can build a couple more archers here in Denmark. So, yeah, I have to kind of wait for that. But I feel like I need some soldiers, just to have some bodies here, just to make the French think twice. Luckily, there's no watchtowers in Saxony, so they can't have vision on Denmark for now. There is that. But then they have a bunch of these bishops hanging around, so they can spy on me like right away. They can send a bishop over, and they can spy on me, see that I'm weak, and then think maybe about attacking me. So, yeah, I need to be ready for that when that happens, if that happens. Also, I just want to mention that my King Olaf II, the most boring monarch to have ever lived. I mean, look at this man. He doesn't even have any vices or virtues. He used to. He had the which was it? He had the secret blackmailer vice, which meant that if it was found out that he was a blackmailer, he would have lost loyalty. But since loyalty does not matter when you're a king, it switches over to influence. That went away, and now he's been king for, what, 15 years now? And still no other traits, nothing. He has gained nothing in his time as king. Just a couple of kids. Which, hey, to his credit, he does have 3 sons. So there is that. 8 more years before Prince Canute comes of age, and yeah, his daughter will be of age before his son. So he just has to hold out for 8 more years. Come on, buddy, you got this. And just like that, it's another counting period for the glorious achievements points. Another 5 points for my homelands, another 2 points for my conquest. Let's go take a peek at things. So yeah, I'm up to 14. The Almohads are still in the lead. No, they're not. The Italians, 26 points. And the Hungarians with 25. Yeah, holy smokes. Hungarians have such good Homeland objectives. They get 4 points off of Hungary and then 3 points apiece off of Croatia and Carpathia. That's pretty good. And then Conquest matches mine. They get 1 point per province, which is nice. So yeah, they're doing well. The Italians, what do they have? I'm gonna look at these provinces. Genoa, and then Milan, and then they have Venice. Tuscany is right there. And then Corsica and Sardinia. Okay. I feel like those are all like their starting provinces, I think, maybe. They're not at war with anyone, are they? They haven't conquered anything. Yeah, they haven't conquered anything. Okay. Interesting. They might want to get involved here. If they can border a French province, they might want to stick their nose in that because the French look like they're getting powerful. Oh, hello guys. Yeah, so French bishops and a French princess, you either want to say hi to me or you want to see what do I got. I will have a son who will come of age soon if you want to stick around and wait till he's available to get married. That would be lovely, French princess. As far as you bishops, well, I have nothing for you, so move along, please. That would be nice, unless you want to talk to the king and maybe get an alliance. Remember when we but we didn't betray you, but remember when we chose the Germans over you? Yeah, we can change that. We can change that right on back. So hopefully those bishops or that princess ask us for an alliance, because I will take it. Absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. Okay, this is interesting. King Olaf II has somehow gained a point of influence. And I think I was mentioning it earlier in this campaign, where I know you can get influence from attacking other regions. I know you can get influence from saving your allies in a defensive siege. But then, where did this come from? There has to be more ways to get influence, or it's kind of like written into the game, maybe, with certain factions, with certain kings. I don't really know, or did I just... Is it just from building stuff? Is it just from, I don't know, making money or something? I don't know. It's weird. I've done nothing but sit here this entire episode. And my useless king gained a point of influence. Now he's less useless. 4 influence is kind of okay. It's not great, but it's okay. It's very interesting. It's a curious thing. And my keep is finally finished here in Sweden, so now I can start building the shipwright immediately. Let's get that going, and I'm a few turns away before I can do that here in Norway. Now my princess has come of age, so let's send her down here. And let's try to get an alliance with the French. Let's see, come on. Princess Astrid, please. Please, we're counting on you. Really could use that. So now I am starting to build that ship right here in Norway. And I probably, I probably made a mistake here. I did start working on the merchant here in Denmark. It's going to be finished in this turn, but I probably should have started working on a royal palace. Although it only takes 2 years to build. So, okay, I guess I'm fine. But when that is finished, I mean, when I get that royal palace, then I can finally start training emissaries. And then I can send an emissary to try to find a princess for my sons, not when they come of age. And I have quite a few of them now. I think I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have five sons. That's a bit. Yeah, you did well, King Olaf II. Yeah, that's one thing you did well. Maybe that's how you got your influence. Yeah, you and your wife just got you some influence just from your son. I was joking, but like I don't know. Is that like, can you get influence that way just by having a big ass family? That's all he's done is make children. So, oh dear, it's an idea. It's an idea. Oh, wonderful. The King of France has accepted my proposal of a marriage. Oh, that's good news. Okay, yes. So now I have to choose between the French and the English. Sorry, England. Sorry. And, yeah, Germans. Sorry, Germans, but... yeah, that's a neighbor that I want to keep happy. The alliances do mean something, you know? If the French betray me now, they will lose influence on their king. And that hurts. It does. Having low influence is it's a harmful thing, so, you know, I don't want to say that I'm safe, but I might be okay. I can finally start building boats here in Sweden, so let's go Sweden. Let's get some boats going. And I have over 4,000 florins in the bank, so I can build other stuff now. Do I go straight for a merchant? Probably not a bad idea. Sweden does have iron deposits, so I do want to make Sweden a military training center soon, you know, eventually, soon. Merchant seems good, though. Merchant seems good. It's only 4 years to get that going. And, you know, I think it's does it say the number? How many, like, what's the percentage? It doesn't tell me, does it? It just says you'll get more money. Cool. That, or what else would I want? Getting those upgrades, like those weapon upgrades. First I would need a town watch, and then I would have to build a spear maker, and then I can start building the armor and the metalsmith. And so I could train these Vikings with armor upgrades and metal and weapon upgrades here in Sweden, and then I can retrain them here in Norway for that valor bonus, or vice versa, maybe. Maybe it works both ways. I'm not quite sure, but yeah, that would be the idea with that. That'd be an effective force, just getting some really beefed up Vikings. But money is also good. Because the thing is, like, I feel like my regular Vikings also are fine enough for now versus, like, what I'm seeing on the map. I think that really I need more archers. So the fact that I can start building boats now here in Sweden and soon Norway, and I can start, you know, training archers here in Denmark soon, that's going to help me out. And yeah, I can get a couple units of those guys. And then I can start thinking about, you know, what kind of military I want to build. Because I'm going to want to... I want to get a boat in the Baltic Sea. Not because there's no ports here, unfortunately, not right now. But my next point of conquest is going to be Finland. I want to take Finland, and I want to work my way down through Novgorod, Livonia, Lithuania, Prussia, eventually Pomerania and Saxony, eventually. But of course I need to have these factions lose these provinces first before I take them. I don't really want to go to war with a major faction to take these provinces. I think that a lot of these are held by rebels. Although the Novgorods are up here, I can take them out. I think when I played this campaign for the first time, they only like had a couple provinces. So hopefully the Novgorods are not going to be too much of an issue for me to deal with. And to face them, I basically, since they have like a really good skirmish cav unit, I think I just need spears, archers, and Vikings, really, is kind of what I need to do. So yeah, I think I stick with that plan. I think I get those weapon and armor upgrade buildings here in Sweden, and yeah, then retrain them in Norway for that valor bonus, and then get some thralls and archers here in Denmark, and then yeah, maybe get a couple stacks, send them to Finland. I think the Novgorods will be a tough fight. I do, but yeah, I still obviously I need to keep building boats for now, but eventually I'm gonna want to mix in some unit training. Eventually, maybe what I can do is I can sort of take turns with my provinces. on whether I'm training archers at one moment or training Vikings at the other moment. So that's probably what I'll do for that. But I just want to finish up this episode by getting my heir of age. I think he's one turn away. Yep, he's one turn away. And the king is 56, so I was off by 1 year. He'll live to be 57 at the very least, and he will live to see his heir come of age. Thank freaking God. Hallelujah. Yeah, love to see it. And I'm making 960. I was making over 1,000, but then I think my upkeep just raised a little bit, so that's how that goes. It's going to raise a little bit more once my son comes of age, because I will have to pay upkeep on his unit. But that is okay. The money is going to come flowing in soon enough. Ooh, did I remember to put that building? I think I forgot to put a building order in Sweden. Yes, Prince Canute is now of age. Oh, thank God, he's my only heir. Royal Palace finished here in Denmark. Now I can start training emissaries. The Almohads wanted an alliance, and they are not going to get one. King Olaf II gets his first trait, and I don't know how he hasn't gotten builder yet. Like, how did it take so long? I've literally only been building stuff this entire time, and he finally got the builder trait, and he's going to give +10 happiness in all provinces. Funny stuff. Prince Canute, irritable, +1 dread, and killer instinct, +2 valor, and then +1 dread. So he sounds dreadful. But +2 valor is going to make him a good fighter. He only has 1 command star. That's not good. But he's loyal enough. He's loyal enough, and other than that, is kind of shit. The piety, the dread, the command, the acumen. But yeah, it's also a good fighter, you know. +2 valor is good, and you know what? Most importantly, he's alive. So, oh yes, it's nice to have you, Prince Canute. Nice to have you indeed. And since that Royal Palace, is that what it's called? The Royal Palace? Yeah. This is giving me this title that I can grant to someone. +2 loyalty and +2 acumen. Yes, yes, yes. More money. So who wants it? Sweden is making over 1,000 florins. Where's your governor? He's down here. Is it you? You're the Earl of Denmark, and you are the Earl of Sweden. You already have 4 acumen. So let's make you the Earl Chamberlain of Denmark and give you +2 acumen. Bring Sweden up to almost 1,200 florins. Yes, that'll do. Now we're making over 1,000 florins. Huzzah! Yes, we've made it. Finally. Oh, it's been a long journey. It's been a long journey to get to this point, but now we are here. So, let's see. Building boats there. Can we start? We're almost able to build boats here in Norway. And I can start getting archers in Denmark once these provinces are building boats. And yeah, then we'll take a peek at the Baltic provinces and think about planning our next invasion, while also simultaneously continuing to expand our trade fleets to make more and more money. Because, yeah, I'm seeing some ports down here in the Gulf of Valencia. I'm seeing a bunch of ports here in the Ligurian Sea and the Adriatic Ocean. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ports. Holy shit, that's where I want to be. Holy moly, that's a lot. Yep. Oh, and down here as well, in the Eastern Mediterranean and the Nile coast, there's 3 ports down here as well. Yeah, there's money to be had, there sure is, but you know what, I also want to make sure that I can start taking territory before the Novgorods get too strong, but you know what, that is all going to have to wait until next time. As always, I hope you've enjoyed this one, and thank you very much for watching. This has been Conistep playing a Medieval Total War. Thank you very much, and goodbye.